really like about art is that it actually it conveys culture. It shows how people live their lives. It shows what's important for other people.
Art adds like a tangibility to cultures. Cultures are more of an experience. In order to understand it, you have to become a part of it. But I think art offers another method for those that are unaware or don't know what goes on in cultures to gain an understanding of it, especially from an outsider's viewpoint, because they might not ever have an experience or an opportunity to experience the culture firsthand.
I think art defines a culture. So with the Romans and the Greeks, when we look back at their art, it shows what they thought was important.
Well, like if you look at history, the historical culture of the United States was preserved in like photographs and portraits and things of that nature. And if you compare it to now, it's completely different. So in like 50 years, when you look at our culture and our artwork, you'll know what we did. So I think it's important in preserving our culture and what we did, what was important to us.
Charlemagne was the founder of the Carolingian Empire and the precursor of the Holy Roman Empire. Under his rule, the Holy Roman Empire was the only empire, except for briefly during Napoleonic rule, to have united France and Germany. After Charlemagne's death in 814, his body was never really able to rest in peace. Emperor Otto III had Charlemagne's vault opened. It was said that his body had been excellently preserved and very well decorated with jewels, imperial robes, and scepters.
In 1165, Frederick Barbarossa opened the vault again and placed the remains in a sculptured sarcophagus. In 1168, Barbarossa had Charlemagne's bones put in a golden shrine beneath a beautiful golden chandelier made especially for this event. In 1349, after a revival of interest in relics and a new tradition of royal images and depictions of idealized portraits, Charles IV commissioned the reliquary of Charlemagne and the bust of Charlemagne.
The bust contains the skull cap of Charlemagne and is a beautiful representation of Gothic gold work from the 13th century. The emperor is bejeweled with a golden lily crown, his hair and beard are made of gilt, and the face and neck are made of silver. During World War II, the city of Aachen was ruthlessly bombed, resulting in the cathedral being severely damaged. The walls were all but destroyed. However, all the reliquaries inside the cathedral, including the bust of Charlemagne, had been moved by the Nazis. The monument's men discovered these reliquaries in Siegen copper mine near Westphalia, Germany in 1944.
During the reign of Charlemagne, the Germanic states had their first Reich. At the time, there was no Germany, simply a composite of Germanic states, resulting in many cultures. Charlemagne had aspirations of bringing all the states and the Germanic people together into one unified kingdom. The Third Reich is commonly known as the name of the empire that Hitler wanted to create. However, the First and Second Reichs are sometimes forgotten. What the three Reichs have in common is that there is a sense of community in all of them. All leaders involved in the Reichs had hopes of bringing the many different people of Germany together. There is a sense of nationalism, pride, and love for all its people. Hitler had other plans, however. His Third Reich involved the demolition of democracy and the start of a militarized Germany. Hitler wanted a vast empire with no minorities, a blunt contrast to the First and Second Reichs. Without Charlemagne, there would be no Germany. These were simply two out of all the major artworks stolen during World War II by the Nazis. Why should we care? Why make a documentary? Because these artworks were not simply pieces of art. They were people's lives, cultures, beliefs, inspirations, treasures, symbols. They were everything that meant anything.
Art is kind of a vehicle for other forms of expression. It's not just painting, it's not just drawing, it's not just looking at pictures in a museum. It's an outlet for creativity for other people.
I think art's important because it's like the world's universal language. It doesn't need translation from culture to culture or from people to people. It's something everyone can have an opinion on and still be right. There's no set meaning to a work of art. It's just subjective to how you interpret it.
Art's like my escape. That's why I want to do photography with my life, is because if like things get stressed or I need an escape from like a hectic week or something, I run to art and I can just let everything out in that, and it's just an escape for me and a way for me to say what I feel without actually having to say it.
I think as technology progresses and the world becomes more intermingled, I think art also becomes intermingled.
It pushes me out of my comfort zone because I really want to capture the shot that I'm going for.